Keep that umbrella around as we head into the weekend. We're on your side with which areas could end up seeing some wet weather and how that will affect those warm temperatures.
WBRC Fox 6 News. First Alert Weather Extra starts now.
And so glad to have you joining us again, Lauren, here for First Alert Weather Extra. We've been trying to find some breaks in this rain. We did today, but we just can't promise it's going to last long.
Yeah, you know, Wes, we've been looking down at the southwest. We're like, ooh, that rain looks like it's trying to get here in a hurry, doesn't it?
Yeah, we're watching some showers back to the southwest. There's certainly a reason why this is actually called the humid subtropical southeast, because at times during the year it feels like the tropics, and that's what we're dealing with right now. We have some rain back to the southwest showing up on radar, and we're going to be tracking that wet weather, and over the next several days there's a chance that we could end up with an additional 2 to 3 inches of rainfall. As you can see, let's go to radar, and here's a look at those showers. You can see back to the south and west, we really haven't seen much across the heart of our area for much of the day. There's a little bit of rain that was showing up over Cherokee County, a little shower that dropped to the south, but you can see there is a circulation in here. We're talking about somewhat of a ridge having a bit of an influence on our weather, helping to limit those showers and storms today, but another big surge of rainfall and some heavy rain here. Actually, a flash flood warning just south of Jackson, Mississippi there, but some heavy rain around Brandon, Forest, Mississippi, Newton County, just north of Meridian, and some of those areas. Let's see if we can zoom in. We'll actually go in for a closer look right here, and you can see there across West Alabama, this is not reaching us at this time. This is still back off to the west. Looks like right there, latest scan, little pop-up shower over Cleburne County, but that's all we can find across our area at the moment. But there's a chance some of that rain back to the west may hold together and may reach us across West Alabama. But with it being so soupy out there, maybe you're going to spend some time just chilling on the back porch this evening. Just don't forget the mosquito repellent, because the skeeter meter in this very muggy setup is very, very high, and I'm sure the frogs will be singing out there tonight as those showers move in from the west direction. Maybe you're heading out here in a minute to catch a movie. If you're going out and about this evening, you can see again holding on a 20% chance for showers, greater chance for parts of West Alabama. But again, just showers tonight. We're not seeing severe weather overnight. It's just some of those showers, if they hold on what we're tracking to the west, some of that could reach us across Alabama. But the storms start to really ramp up this weekend for our area during the day tomorrow. Could be some loud rumbles in the afternoon. Need to watch out for that threat of storms, likely during the afternoon. And right now, we are monitoring for some activity in the tropics. And at the moment, we've had a lot of rain down along the coast here. I want to take you to the satellite image, the view from space. We do not have an organized tropical system down over the Gulf or the Caribbean at this time. There's been quite a bit of rain. I was showing you South Mississippi, but if we take this view in and we go down along coastal areas, seeing some storms just north of Mobile, pushing north there towards Monroeville. Here's a look at Gulf Shores at this time. Pretty strong onshore flow. You can see those showers are moving to the north, some inland storms around Bay Minette, but it's just mostly the typical beach weather with scattered showers and storms at this time. But when we look further out into the Atlantic and look at the long-range forecast, we are seeing some indications here that we might have a tropical wave that may try to become better organized over the next several days. Let's go back to that view here, and you'll see that this is still well back over the central Atlantic, but it looks like over the next 5 to 7 days there's a chance, if we follow that, by the end of next week, if this does become better organized, the system would be close to the Bahamas. So that's the next one that we're watching. It's not a tropical depression, not a tropical storm, but a tropical wave. Things starting to wake up again somewhat over the tropics as we get closer to the month of August. And even though fall severe weather season is still a ways away, a long way out, it's still important that everyone is able to receive that first alert. And technology, of course, has been a problem in parts of the state of Alabama. We've had areas where we really haven't had that enhanced radar coverage. Sometimes with radar, it can only see so far because of the curvature of the earth. So sometimes we have to fill those gaps, and there's a team out there working to do that. Congresswoman Terry Sewell and our Brian Henry has a story now on how EMA leaders and lawmakers are discussing building a better tornado detection network across the state of Alabama.
For all that you do.
Congresswoman Terry Sewell laid out the cold, hard facts about weather in West Alabama.
We know that we in the Black Belt live in Tornado Alley.
and it seems as though Hale County has been hit more frequently in recent years by tornadoes.
And we know that Alabama tornadoes are some of the deadliest in the nation.
Now more than ever, the big push to build a new tornado radar in the heart of West Alabama, one that could close the so-called tornado gap consisting of around 14 counties. Put it another way, there is no meaningful radar in a 75-mile range.
It's not disappointing. We do.
Wilcox County EMA Director Melissa Dove says she's not really all that surprised the radar hasn't been built. After all, they're expensive to build and maintain. Still, Dove feels it will eventually happen.
I do remain optimistic. It's something that it's more and more every day. Look around the country. There's more and more bad weather, more and more flooding.
Recent advances in technology have helped. For example, a radar in East Mississippi near Meridian is expected to come online soon, and that will offer some coverage. Also, regional radars can now lower the radar beam. In other words, see a little closer to the ground.
Lowering the radar beam so they can catch some of the tornadoes that are low-lying that they hadn't been able to catch normally.
Lowering the radar beam is considered a short-term fix until funds are found for a much more powerful radar to complement the one in East Mississippi.
This will give us some security. We still worry about our citizens, though.
That is why this is essential.
Until then, those who live in the so-called gap hope and pray another tornado doesn't come calling.
Thanks, Brian. Well, check out these stunning views from NOAA's Goes West satellite. It shows the explosive growth in the Park Fire in California, which has now burned more than 164,000 acres. These wildfires also blanketing large portions of the U.S. in smoke, which is resulting in air quality alerts across multiple states. We've been updating you on these conditions right here on First Alert Weather Extra. And as hundreds of wildfires burn across the U.S., it's leading to hazy skies from the plains all the way to the northeast. Burns, Oregon, seeing the worst of it with an air quality reading of 274, which is very unhealthy. Nearly 90 fires are burning across the west with nearly 22,000 firefighters fighting the blazes. And in Canada, the Jasper fire continuing to spread, forcing mass evacuations this week. The fire burning nearly 89,000 acres as of today, according to Jasper National Park. And as the fire reached the town of Jasper on Wednesday, it's since suffered significant losses. Officials say that nearly half of its structures could be damaged as they talk about their struggles to fight these fires.
We have made efforts to mobilize every resource available to bring relief and support to the community. The Provincial Emergency Coordination Center is now at a level 4 activation to ensure full coordination across the provincial government. Our staff helped arrange staging grounds, meeting points, hotels for all those involved in the situation on the ground. And we continue to have field officers embedded within the local incident management team to help make connections between local authorities, first responders, government ministries, and municipal resources in other areas.
About 176 wildfires are said to be burning across the province of Alberta. 54 of those are said to be burning out of control. And back here in our neck of the woods, though we've seen some flooding, thankfully we haven't seen any severe impacts, but it is a good reminder to check on your family's emergency kits. Our Brady Talbert spoke with the Red Cross, who shares some tips on how to put together a safety kit that's not only useful, but cost effective as well.
This is the video the Alabama Red Cross is sharing on social media, visiting a dollar store to show people some budget-friendly items they can place in their emergency kits.
Everybody's needs are going to be different. If you think of being without power or being in a situation where you can't have access to the things in your home that matter, what does your bag look like?
The video shows how supplies such as a flashlight, disinfectant wipes, water, and non-perishable food can be found at an affordable cost. Then each family will have their own specific needs.
Does that mean you have certain medications that you need? If you have small children, do you have diapers? Do you have pull-ups? Do you have clothing? Do you have shoes?
The Red Cross recommends going through your kit every 6 months to see if any items like ready-to-eat meals have expired. And with hurricane season in full swing, they also want to make sure Central Alabama is ready for all types of storms.
Hurricane Ivan was one of those long track hurricanes that came more inland than anybody had, well, meteorologists expected it, but I think more than people in Birmingham did. There were lots of power outages. There were people had to call into work because there were trees down. They couldn't get around. So while we may not have the direct impact of the hurricane, there are still going to be impacts from hurricanes.
Hey, and if you have loved ones who live closer to the coast, the Red Cross recommends having a plan in place so they know they can evacuate to your home during a disaster. Hotels definitely tend to fill up quickly. Well, coming up in 30 seconds, Wes will give us an update on our current weather across central Alabama, and then we travel across the fawn to Vive la France. We'll be right back.
Well, dry for most of us right now. Some showers back to the southwest may impact parts of Sumter and Pickens County over the next few hours. So just giving you the first alert, some showers that could move in. If you have plans tomorrow, maybe do a little fishing. Here's a look at the fishing forecast. And we also have the peak movement times there during the day. You can see around 10:30 a.m. just past lunchtime, but we'll need to be alert for storms out there tomorrow. Certainly have a plan because there could be some lightning producers during the afternoon. Let's check out some pick locations, some neighborhood forecasts here on Weather Extra. How about Moundville? 75 tomorrow morning, a mostly cloudy sky. We'll take you to Hayden, 73 to start the day. Over in East Alabama, how about Ohatchee? Maybe a little bit of fog around in the morning, 72 there bright and early. And final stop, we'll head to Thorsby here in Chilton County, 73 early tomorrow morning. We're going to be talking about not only the weather around here, but of course we're keeping a close watch on the weather overseas because it's a big week coming up here, the Olympics happening.
Hey, Wes, we're telling you, if you sign up to watch Weather Extra, then we're going to give you something real extra, like the weather in France. And if, believe it or not, right now here in central Alabama, it's about 6:40 p.m. But over in France, hopefully they're all snoozing. Hopefully the athletes are getting some good sleep, getting ready for the games kicking off tomorrow. So we actually had the opening ceremonies tonight. And if you caught any of the video, it actually was raining in Paris because they held the opening ceremonies outside right along the River Seine. And so in Paris right now it's 66 degrees. They actually have some of that rain cooled air in place, but you can see closer to the Mediterranean, you can see in Marseille over towards Nice, temperatures are really warm, kind of like we've been around here in the upper 70s. So you're closer to the Mediterranean, you're going to get that more humid air in place. But let's look at those future temperatures as we go into tomorrow morning, which technically it's already tomorrow morning for them across the pond. Temperatures will be in the 60s farther inland and farther north, but you'll notice closer to the Mediterranean coast, temperatures in the 70s. Again, a little bit more similar to here. If only we had those Mediterranean views like they do in the south of France. Now, going into tomorrow afternoon, there's actually still, if anyone from Paris is watching, a first alert for rain in the forecast. So that is going to help to keep temperatures not too steamy for tomorrow. But you'll notice those rain-free areas like Toulouse down in the south of France could get into the mid-upper 90s, even over towards Lyon. And then as we look into Sunday morning, we haven't seen these in a while, 50s in North France. So it'll be really nice up that way in Paris. The athletes will need a light jacket. But then as we progress through Sunday, we flip the switch. Instead of seeing rainy weather, the heat really builds in. Still not too bad in Paris, but check it out. The potential for triple-digit heat, and that's in Fahrenheit, down in the south of France. So what about those rain chances? Well, we already got some rain tonight for the opening ceremonies, but you'll see as we get into Saturday afternoon, there's going to be the possibility of more rain and storms moving across the country. And the flow here is coming in from the southwest and pushing off to the northeast. And this is going to be staying north of the Alps, but you'll see as we get into Sunday evening, a better chance of a few showers, areas farther to the south. You've got that warm, humid air. You could begin to see a few showers and storms bubbling up. But as far as how much rainfall, Paris, you got to keep up. We've been getting a lot more rainfall here. You can see possibly areas east of Paris and to the west of Strasbourg. You could see about 2 to 4 inches of rain over the next 48 hours. So the big story in Paris, still some rain showers to potentially contend with for tomorrow, but then for any events, drying out and eventually cranking up the heat. And spoiler alert, that's going to be happening with our weather as well. So as we look ahead to our weather going towards the weekend, Wes will still be tracking that chance of rain, and I'll take you beyond the 7-day. We'll be right back.
And welcome back in the Weather Extra. Happy Friday to you. You have some big weekend plans out there. I don't think it's going to be a total washout, but there's going to be some scattered showers and storms. We're starting it off on a drier note right now. There are some towering cumulus clouds I'm noticing in the distance here from our camera in Jasper, and that's a sign we might have a couple of pop-up showers trying to develop there. We'll keep a watch on the radar. Do check it tonight. I still think there could be a couple of isolated showers out there, but a live look from Nectar. Notice 86 degrees, dew point 74, still very soupy, still very humid, and it's going to stay sticky through tomorrow and Sunday. And a live look from Birmingham. You see in the distance, that's a Miller steam plant right there, if you've ever wondered, looking back to the northwest. And over Birmingham right now, just a slight haze at this time, but temperatures in the 80s. Big warm up out there today. Some of us flirting with 90 degrees. There are more clouds building in across the southwest part of the area, and that is from storms and rain that's back in the the Mississippi. Now, this is a lapse that starts around 3 o'clock, so it's taken this quite a while to move the distance you see here. I mean, over several hours, so this isn't just racing our way. I think, though, as we lose the heating of the day tonight, some of this will dissipate, but some of this may hold together just enough to where we have a few showers out there tonight. Some of the models now suggesting that, yeah, might get a couple of these light showers hanging on and reaching us into West Alabama later on tonight. Again, right now, we're in good shape. You're about to head out. I mentioned catch a movie, maybe go to a concert. We're looking at some good conditions at the moment, but later on tonight, maybe some showers. I mean, even past midnight, maybe a couple sprinkles out there. It's still, the pattern is unsettled, and tomorrow we'll enjoy some breaks for the first part of the day, but I stopped it right here at 2 o'clock to show you those scattered storms. Once we really heat up, they'll be popping out there. So if you're out by the pool, by the lake tomorrow, again, first alert for scattered thunderstorms. They'll come back tomorrow and again on Sunday. In fact, the rain chance is a little bit higher for Sunday. There will be a likelihood of scattered storms Sunday and also carrying over into the start of next week. Monday and Tuesday, we have a 60 to 70% chance for rain, a first alert for scattered storms. And by the end of next week, heading into August, though, it looks like a slight change in the pattern. Highs reaching into the 90s. Ridge kind of builds in here, and that helps to limit the number of showers and thunderstorms, but also those temperatures rising. We'll start to see the triple-digit feels-like temperatures. And I mentioned this earlier, Lauren. It's always amazing when you see a change in the calendar. It's almost like a switch comes on and the pattern changes. But that August look is starting to show up in the forecast.
It is, and we all know all too well August is typically the hottest month of the year in Alabama. So we have honestly been lulled into this false sense of security with how comfortable it's been with this rainy, cozy, cooler pattern. Spoiler alert, it ain't gonna last. As Wes was just saying, we have a first alert as we get into August, above average heat, not just here in Alabama, but across most of the U.S. So across most of the U.S., we're going to be seeing above average temperatures. This is looking at the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, August 3rd through 9th. And it does show we could be seeing above average heat as we wrap up July and head into the month of August. And as far as rain chances, you can see with that the possibility of above average precipitation. Now, it doesn't look like a super wet pattern, but maybe a few more showers and storms than you would see on a typical summer day. And this is again August 3rd through 9th. But as Wes mentioned, later next week, that's when we could be seeing those rain chances a bit more limited. So when we talk about above average temperatures, well, what does that mean? What could that exactly translate to? Well, possibly maybe mid, if not upper 90s. Now, remember, this data can and will change. Long range forecasting 7 to 10 days out is not going to be quite as accurate as a few more days out. So we'll continue to keep an eye on things, but shocker, the mornings will still be warm and muggy regardless of what is happening in the afternoon. So let's look beyond the 7 day in terms of those rain chances. Wes has been mentioning that we're watching an area in the tropics. So here we are next Saturday showing that easterly flow coming in from the Atlantic into the Caribbean. And so we'll want to watch if a disturbance could potentially get into the Gulf of Mexico. Could it impact anyone along the Gulf Coast? But we'll see. Otherwise, just hit or miss rain chances for us. The possibility as we get into the first full week of August, a better chance of some scattered showers and storms, but definitely seeing the possibility of maybe some low pressure trying to develop in the Gulf of Mexico. And this time of the year, if that does indeed happen, then you've certainly got to watch for that potential for tropical systems. But hey, you know, we may be chasing some tropical systems later this year, but you know who is the ultimate hurricane chaser? Mr. Absolutely Alabama himself. Last night, a big honor was given to our former WBRC colleague and First Alert Weather Team member, Fred Hunter. Fred, who retired back in April, was recognized as one of Birmingham's top 50 over 50. And hey, Janice and JJ emceed the event. 50 over 50 recognizes the achievements and successes of folks in our area 50 and older.
The club is such a nice facility, and these people are so nice to include me, and I just appreciate it. I'm not sure about the positive maturity, but I am positive I'm getting older.
shoot, Fred looks like he's doing really well. Maybe Wes and I need to retire and grow a beard. Maybe that's the key. Well, the event was put on by Positive Maturity, an organization aimed at enhancing the lives of older adults. Fred says he is staying busy in retirement, enjoying time with grandkids, and he'll actually be teaching a class at Shelton State on storytelling. Oh, I'd love to go attend that. We'll have a final look at Weather Extra after the break. Huh? I don't know. Are we? Tristan Hockersmith. Oh, I posted that picture today. Okay. Am I going home? Oh, yeah. No. I hadn't planned on it. I mean, I can if I need to.
Oh, yeah, I can do
home? You sure? Okay. A weather fight.
it. Yeah.
I will never win a fight.
We can do it when I get.
Verbal.
Yeah, we can.
Well, you know, Wes, they always say you can find a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Sometimes you can find the Flying J, apparently.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we were trying to look for that pot of gold out there yesterday. We had a nice view, but Tristan Hockersmith sharing that photo of a beautiful rainbow. Kiara King sharing some photos there as well.
Gorgeous.
Yes.
Oh, and look at this. You don't even have to have a rainbow to have some good views. Thanks to Thomas for sending that in from Mountain Woods.
Yeah, I believe that's right there in the Hayden area. Lots of great photos this week, Lauren. And I know we're going to have another stormy weekend out there, so be careful. We'll have lots of updates tonight, first at 9.
Well, if she's with Fox, then couldn't we use it?
Fox WALA.
Yeah, WALA. That's great.
Yeah, that's our
That's
station.
the Gray Station in Mobile.